Example 2, graph 2x plus 3y is greater than or equal to 6 and determine if the point 1 and negative 3 is part of the solution. So to do that, we're going to put this in y equals mx plus b form. So I'm going to move the 2x to the other side. So I've got 3y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 6. And now I'm going to divide off the 3. So we're going to get y is greater than or equal to negative 2/3 x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And so I'm going to graph this. I'm going to put in a scale. Remember your scale if there's not one. So I'm going to count each one unit as 1. Now y equals mx plus b. I'm going to plot the b is the y-intercept of 2. Slope of negative 2/3. So that means I'm going to count down for rise and right for run 3 units. So I've got my 2 points. Now, because this inequality sign has an equal to sign, that means it's a solid line. I'm not putting a dashed line. So I'm actually going to make this a little bit longer and go up to right 3. So it's just nicer to have another point to connect there. And we're going to graph this one. And then what we have to do is test to see if we shade above or below that line. So to test, pick any point that's not on this boundary line. So again, if possible, I choose 0, 0 to make the math easy enough. So I'm going to plug it in. I can again plug it into the original one, or I can plug it into here. Sometimes I plug it into the original one in case I made an arithmetic error here. So I'm going to do that on this one. That way I don't have any carry through errors, and I get 0 is greater than or equal to 6. So if I get 0 is greater than or equal to 6, that's a false statement. 0 is smaller than 6. So this is false. So what that means is the point 0, 0 is not part of the solution. So that means below is not part, above must be. So again, you're going to get out your colors if you want. Shade it with pencil. And there is your answer. Now let's look at part B. For part B, determine if the point 1, negative 3 is part of the solution. I'm going to show this one algebraically first. You would test it into the equation. So I'm going to plug in 1 for x, and I'm going to plug in negative 3 for y, and then put in the greater than or equal to 6. So I'm going to get 2 minus 9 is greater than or equal to 6, and I get negative 7 is greater than or equal to 6. So negative 7, that's a false statement. So we're going to say that therefore this is not. So therefore 1 and negative 3 is not part of the solution. And I would actually could have found that answer faster had I just looked at the graph. So if I go to the point 1 and negative 3, it is not shaded. So that supports my answer. So it is also, let's just put in brackets here, not shaded. So that's just 2 methods. You're going to choose a strategy of that based on if you have the graph or not. So if I have the graph, I would have probably just done that straight away. But sometimes in a question, you may ask to solve it algebraically.